Mayor of Dublin lives in a mansion house, and her name is Caroline Conroy. She's actually the 354th Lord Mayor of Dublin. And they do change the Lord Mayor here every year in June. Now just beside the mansion house we have St. Anne's Church with the red doors there. The famous writer got married in St. Anne's Church, Bram Stoker. He wrote the book Dracula. Now he married a young girl in there. Her name was Florence Balcom. She was only 21 at the time, and they got married in 1878. Now as we travel on down the street called Dawson Street, if you look straight ahead now, you can see Trinity College. Now Bram Stoker did study in Trinity College, and he was considered a great athlete at the time. But as a child, he was a very sickly child. He spent a lot of his childhood in bed. But he did have a grandmother that used to read horror stories to him every night, which I suppose really inspired him when it comes to the supernatural and the occult. So if we look straight ahead, in between those trees ahead of us, there's a street there with loaded terraces down it. But down there, there's an Italian restaurant called Pacino's. And with your tickets, you can actually get 2 meals for the price of one in there. Up until 4 o'clock, 4 p.m. So if you look straight ahead, now we have a very large Georgian building. Now that Georgian building, straight ahead, was the original House of Parliament. It was first built in 1729, but later, in 1803, Bank of Ireland took it over. Now if you look very closely there, you'll see there's no windows in that building at all. All the light comes in through the roof. So they say if you do put your money in there, it'll never see the light of day again. More than 7 million people living in Ireland at the moment, and there's 32 counties. 26 of those counties are in the south of Ireland, and 6 are in the north of Ireland. So there's 5 million people living in the south of Ireland, and 2 million people living in the north of Ireland. So this street we've just turned onto now is called Fleet Street. Now coming up on the right, underneath that big clock there ahead of us, we have a pub called Bose. Now if you're looking for a nice, my goodness, while you're here and you're staying in Dublin, Bose there on the right is a nice place to go. Now it looks a lot better on the inside than it does on the outside. So now we're leaving Georgian Dublin, and when we do eventually get around the block here, we'll be heading into medieval Dublin. So just on the left of us now we have the oldest educational institute in Dublin, Trinity College. It was first built under the instruction of Elizabeth I in 1592 to convert the Irish people to Protestant persuasion. The Trinity College is also well known for and contains a great manuscript of Ireland, the Book of Kells. It's a 9th century manuscript with 4 Gospels written in Latin and telling the story of Christ. Now there's more than 100 windows there in Trinity College, to what is known as the West Front. Now the college has also produced many famous graduates, including Oscar Wilde, George Bernard Shaw, and ex-presidents Mary Robinson and Mary McAleese as well. Now the movie Star Wars is connected to Trinity College in a small way. The Jedi archives of the Jedi Temple in the movie Star Wars Episode 2, Attack of the Clones, bear a startling resemblance to the long room of the Trinity College Library. Now this resemblance resulted in controversy, as permission had not been sought to use the building's likeness in the film. So the next set of traffic lights, we're going to turn right onto a street called Dame Street. So just to the left of us there we have the main entrance into Trinity College. Now just when all the buses go, just behind the black railings on the right, you'll see a statue of a guy holding an open book. Now that statue is of Oliver Goldsmith, and he wrote the poem, Hickory Dickory Dock. So as we reach the next set of traffic lights, coming up on the left, just where the H&M store is, you see a little side street called Church Lane. At the very top of that side street, just coming up on the left now, we have the Molly Malone statue. That's up there. Now they say that the Molly Malone statue is the most photographed statue in Dublin. As we travel along Dame Street here, if you look over to your right, you'll see a little side street with cobblestones down it. Now that's one of the streets that'll lead you down to Temple Bar. Now down in Temple Bar, they do have lots of bars, restaurants, and the Irish Film Centre is down there as well, and they even have a bohemian area. But originally, Temple Bar was named after the provost of Trinity College in the 17th century, William Temple. And the word bar is the English word with 2 oars, meaning promenade or walkway.
Bar with 2 R's and promenade or walkway.
So now we're on our way to Dublin's castle. A Dublin castle looks more like a palace than a castle, but it was originally built in 1204. Now between 1204 and 1922, it was the seat of the British power of Ireland. Nowadays, the government, they really only use it for state receptions, but you can visit the state apartments. Now just coming up on the left, just after the traffic lights, we have City Hall with pillars inside the front of it. Now just after City Hall, there's a little side street that leads up to the entrance of Dublin Castle, and I'll show you that now in a second.
Yeah, we're almost halfway there.
So there we have City Hall, just to the left of us now. And just after City Hall, we have a little side street. If you just look to your left now, see those black railings and black gates? That's the entrance into Dublin Castle there. And just straight ahead of us now, we have Christ Church Cathedral. The Christ Church Cathedral was originally built by the Vikings in the 11th century, but about 100 years later, in the 12th century, it was rebuilt by the Normans. Now, crowds do gather here every year, just before midnight on New Year's Eve, to hear the church bells ring. Now, the cathedral also contains the largest cathedral crypt in both Britain and Ireland. Now, over the years, the cathedral has gathered many unusual things, including the heart of Lawrence O'Toole, the patron saint of Dublin, and of course the mummified remains of a cat and a rat. They were discovered in an Oregon pipe in the 1850s, and their mummified bodies are now on display in the crypt. Eternally trapped in Chase, the duo are affectionately named Tom and Jerry, and even got a mention in James Joyce's book, Finnegan's Wake. So as we turn right here, coming up on the left, you'll see a little banner that says Dublinia on it. Now that's an interactive exhibition which will give you a graphic description of the Viking and medieval times in Dublin. And just to the left of us now is the entrance into Dublinia, if you're thinking about going there tomorrow. So in a few moments we're going to be travelling back over the River Liffey to the north side of Dublin. Now, Dublin City is divided into two parts, the north side and the south side.